Yo, welcome in and welcome back, everybody, to Sports Profit TV. This is the MLS Live podcast. I'm just sending this tweet out real quick. We are streaming live on X. So if you're watching, thanks for being here and thanks for joining us. I'm Cooper, aka the Sports Prophet, and with me, as always, is my guy Garrett at JSomeFooty. Garrett, I hope you're feeling better, buddy. We had to take a little rain check on last week's episode. First time we've done that all year. So if we can do this show, we absolutely get it done. But glad to have you back, man.
Yeah, man, I will do the show anytime I have a voice. Last week that was not the case, so that wasn't happening, unfortunately. But if you followed us on X, I think we made you a little bit of money though. Winning, I won 2 of the 3 slates last week, so not bad when you factor in like the 2 weekends and the midweek. So we'll take that. We'll take a little bit of profit whenever.
Yeah, at least you did. I had a really bad week personally, but didn't post too many of those on X. So hopefully, if you followed Garrett, it was a good week, and hopefully bounce back. I can bounce back for you guys on the show this week, and Garrett can keep it going, and we'll have a great week all around. But we were just chit chatting. I'm trying to think if there's anything specific to discuss. Obviously, the Miami situation. Losing 3-0 on their home field against Orlando. That's rather shocking at this point, considering they've got Messi and not that they've been playing their best, but I'm not going to say that I saw, a 3-0, ass whooping there in Miami. Anything else like anything from last week that kind of jumped out at you?
I'm looking at the results real quick. Nothing crazy. I mean, El Trafico is El Trafico, man. Like you can have Galaxy be the worst team they've ever been in their existence, and still El Trafico is going to deliver. It was great. I mean, it's the best matchup in MLS, hands down, every time they play. So that was great. I'm trying to think. Nothing big. It looks like. Let me see if this is just how old this news is. Like, I feel like it's not too old. So every team participating in the Club World Cup, I guess, is getting a special transfer window for like 10 days.
Yep.
So that could affect MLS in some fashions, both with I think they'll have what? Who's in it? Miami?
Yeah, so MLS is going to have LAFC if they beat Club America. We'll have Inter Miami, the Seattle Sounders. We will have. I think we got at least one more in there. We've got. I think that's it.
So that'll affect MLS both with a couple of teams potentially buying when the MLS window would technically be closed, but also MLS teams could sell during that time as well. So you'll have to keep an eye on that and just watch it. And then we've got coming up in the dog days of summer, Gold Cup action. We got a Canadian tournament kicking off next month. That's going to affect MLS teams during June and July for sure. I actually expect that Gold Cup roster to be pretty MLS heavy. I think they just announced today Pulisic and Munsa are not going to come and play in the Gold Cup. I would not be shocked after such a busy European season if a couple other guys don't decide to opt out of the Gold Cup. So I would expect a heavy MLS roster for the Gold Cup, and of course that'll affect teams as well. So we'll just have to pay attention to it as we go into these next 8 weeks or so. So yeah, it's gonna be. I think from handicapping perspective, it'll separate the men from the boys, so to speak.
Yeah, for sure. So is it just the MLS teams in Club World Cup that are going to have access to the transfer window, or it's
who
the
can
entire
buy?
league?
Only those clubs who are in it that can purchase players. But if you're giving these other European teams the possibility of purchasing as well, I'm not saying they'll buy anyone from MLS, but that there could be a world where somebody in MLS gets sold, right? And so that could affect teams during that window as well. We'll just have to see. And the The secondary window for MLS is opening later this season. So, like later in the season to where it's not even feel like I don't expect huge moves in the summer unless teams are like right in the thick of it competing because of how close to the end of the season the secondary transfer window actually is.
Cool. All righty. Well, let's go ahead and get into it then. We've got full slate of games for this Saturday. We did keep an eye on U.S. Open Cup matches, which were tonight. As far as looking at lineups and stuff, and that's helpful as far as handicapping the Saturday game. So we will jump into it, and we will start with a combo play. And Garrett, this is yours.
So I love Seattle this weekend. They're going to host Dallas. Seattle has the best home field advantage analytically right now, and they actually get an Acosta-less Dallas. He's going to be suspended. And Dallas is on short rest with playing for the Cup midweek. Seattle did not. Seattle's last game was last weekend when they hosted their rival, or when they traveled to Portland. So Seattle's sitting at like minus 200, minus 215, somewhere around there. I actually love the price given the setup right now. Like I said, that home field advantage is huge for Seattle. They just dominate there this season. I think they score like 86% more of their goals at home than they do on the road. Like they're humming when they're in front of their fans. So that's an easy lock in for me for a parlay leg. I love Seattle this weekend. And so my other half is going to be Minnesota under 3.5. And that's going to give us about a minus 110 when you put in the money line plus Minnesota under 3.5. Minnesota's going to host Austin. They played all first team guys tonight in the Cup. Not all starters, but all first team guys, no reserves, no academy players. Austin went strong as well for their midweek match tonight. And so I just expect heavy legs and some rotation from probably both these sides going into the weekend. That being said, Austin has only had one game out of 14 go over 3.5 this season so far. So especially if Austin rotates, doesn't have all their studs out there, you might even see a more compact Austin than we could imagine, right? We already know they play deep. They don't let people behind them. You've got to really work hard to break them down in the box. And if any kind of rotation from Minnesota, sign me up for the under 3.5 there. And so that gives me a nice minus 110. And I think those are just two really good legs for this weekend, with most teams playing 3 games in roughly 7 or 8 days.
Yeah, no, I love targeting Dallas here with Noah Costa. I mean, he's their best player by quite a bit. Scored a really nice goal tonight in the Cup game where
It was clean.
he took on 2 guys and kind of just wiggled his way through, and just how he can do. But Noah Costa, so yeah, Seattle, great home leg. I think Dallas has probably historically struggled with that trip, which, I mean, we talk about the West Coast a lot on this show, and the advantage that it is, right? And I've got to give Seattle credit, man. I mean, we've kind of been a little colder on them the last season or so just because they've gotten old, but they take care of business at home. And Schmelzer, I mean, great coach. They're going to be well coached. So good home leg there. The under, not a whole lot to say. I know these are 2 top 5 teams defensively, analytically. Both of them had games tonight, so that shouldn't hurt. Definitely wouldn't make me think we're going to get more goals with them having to play tonight. So Minnesota has been sneaky good defensively, and they've also been a team that knows how to sit on a lead. They've not really been. Now they can score goals, but they haven't really been like a team that really tries to run it up. They are pretty fundamentally sound, and you see a lot of like 2-0 score lines for Minnesota this year. So I like it. Nice price here. All righty. On to our next game, and we're going to have 2 bets for this one. I will start us off with NYCFC and Chicago taking the both teams to score and over 2.5 at minus 115. So Chicago did have a cup game yesterday. Uh, NYCFC, this game will be at Yankee Stadium. So, smaller confines as far as maybe not confines, but dimensions on the field. And Chicago's just really impressed me this year with their attack. I mean, obviously, they've had some ugly score lines, like we saw against your Nashville side, 7-1, I think is what it was. 7-2.
Yep.
Yeah, you were there for that one. But I think Chicago actually looks better on the road as far as the attack. They've had some really good road performances. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but just going through their score lines, they've definitely scored quite a few more goals on the road this season than they have at home.
They're the best road attack in the league.
Okay, there we go. And they created 3.99 XGs and 6 big chances on the road against Charlotte a week ago. Brian Gutierrez had 2 goals. Inkernagle had 1. Bamba had 1. So really nice performance there for Chicago on the road. Followed it up with a nice cup performance on the road where let's see. But yeah, so NYCFC, I have liked the way that they've looked at home this season, especially at Yankee Stadium. I think honestly, I think this game has a ton of goals. I don't really trust Chicago to score like multiple goals on a team total or anything like that, but I do think they contribute. And NYCFC at home has actually looked fairly dangerous. So I think we get a lot of goals in this one. This might be my favorite, one of my favorite overs for the week.
No, I dig it. I mean, we've been on the fire both teams to score a lot on the show this season so far. I mean, it's just been a solid play. However you want to work it into what you're looking at. But I'm actually going to take NYCFC money line here. I don't do a lot of money line plays for the show, but this one being at even money. So what could help a lackluster NYCFC attack? Probably the Chicago Fire defense, if I had to guess. The Chicago, I mean, they're in a nice run of form, no doubt, winning 4 straight, 2 of those being U.S. Open Cup matches. But their defense is still an issue. And again, you touch on it. I love NYC at Yankee Stadium. That's just a different kind of home field advantage no other team gets in the league. Playing on such a narrower field, traveling teams, even if they played there, throughout the different seasons already, you just don't get used to it, right? It's just hard to game plan for and to practice for. We grabbed this a couple of weeks ago, and it didn't, go our way. But I'm totally willing to go back to the well here. The Fire ran out a decent 11 on Tuesday, and I don't think so because it was on Tuesday, and this game's a Sunday. You're going to have plenty of rest, right? Like I don't see them doing a lot of rotation on the Sunday game, so I think you get a good, strong Fire 11. But that's still 3 games in 7 to 8 days, like however you want to slice it. Whether it's a Tuesday or Wednesday midweek match. And so I just think you're going to have some heavy legs here. And if you're a head-to-head fan at all, NYC has absolutely dominated this matchup when at home. I'm not a big head-to-head fan, but when I see like 11 wins to like 3 losses, like that sticks out. So I love NYC here at home. I think there could be goals as well. It's a little harder for me to trust this NYC attack. I do think Chicago could be a get right spot for them to really hum, and find some joy in their chances. But I'll just take the money line here, man, because if in case we run into 2-1-0, 2-0, I know Chicago Fire have been attacking, but the Fire are also exceeding expectations a little bit across the board. They've scored a few more goals on the road than what they have been expected to. They've gotten a few more points on the road as far as like actual results than what they've been expected to on the road. So I just think there could be a little pullback somewhere. Don't know if it's here or not. I've talked about when I expect pullbacks to come. You never really know, and then they come the next game, like with Nashville. But no. So I'm just going to take for the money line. I do love both teams to score here, though. Like I said, it's been a solid play all year long. So yeah, let NYC hang 2, 3, 4 goals on them, and Chicago can contribute as well. I think everyone goes home happy here.
Yeah, I'm actually scanning through, looking at NYCFC's home games, and if there is any significant difference in their XG performances in Queens compared to at Yankee Stadium, um, there's definitely, I mean, like I think they've played 3 games at Yankee Stadium, and 2 of the 3 they've created almost 3 XGs. So there is something about NYCFC at Yankee Stadium. It's just a little bit different.
They're
Uh,
comfortable there, man. Like,
yeah,
and the other team is automatically uncomfortable. Like that is the big
yes,
difference right from the start.
yeah. You're an away team. You play there once a year at the most, and some teams in in the West might play there once every 2 or 3 years. So definitely one of the more underrated advantages. One of those little quirks of MLS that we try to use to our advantage. Um, I will say I won't really be sad to see the advantage go when the new stadium opens, because uh, that looks like a beautiful stadium. I'm gonna have to get up there and see one when the new
I
NYC
think
stadium is
I think
open.
they'll have a different advantage at that point because that stadium's going to be sick.
It's gonna be lit. Or what are they calling it? The ice box? Something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
I love it. All righty. We will keep on scooting. I'm gonna look at the Orlando City Portland Timbers match. I need like a beeper, like a beeper to pop up because we have a gut play alert for this game. Need like a beep beep beep, like a gut play, some kind of sound effect to come up when we have a gut play. This is definitely one. I'm going with Portland +1 on the spread, um, which is dangerous because I mean I even sat there and I watched Orlando City last week at home, and I was like, man, maybe this team is just, this. I think I'm trying to remember what I said. I think it was against Charlotte. This isn't really a team I want to step in front of at home. Maybe I need to quit doing it because I backed Charlotte that day, but the analytics weren't great. Charlotte actually outplayed Orlando that day, and I am just not overly sold on Orlando, specifically on defense. I think that they are I think they're way more susceptible than what we've seen. I think they are due for some negative goals allowed regression. I like that J Rod is finally healthy, fully fit for Portland. Um, this one kind of has shootout vibes to me, but mostly this game has draw vibes to me. And I know that is, you know, it is what it is, totally a gut feel for this one, and there's not a ton I can really give other than I kinda wanna fade Orlando. I think they have been rolling way too hot for their own good, and I think that they are gonna come back to earth just a little bit. I don't think Orlando's a bad team. I just think that they are not as good as their results have been, and then you've got, you know, the win of the season so far, beating Miami 3-0 on the road. And then obviously the game tonight against Nashville in the Cup that they lost at home. So I think they're coming back down to earth just a little bit. And I like that Portland's healthy, and I think this Orlando City defense is susceptible to the speed that Portland is going to bring for this one. So +1, I don't see the spread being a goal here. I mean this. I can't help myself. Give me the +1.
So before Orlando lineup tonight for the US Open Cup, I was all about both teams to score here. I just knew Orlando was going to rotate a little bit, save some legs, and get a rested Portland side, and they were going to go at it, man. I expected goals. Now I don't know because I think Orlando has to rotate on the weekend. They expended a lot of energy in a loss to Nashville, a heavily rotated Nashville side. No DPs in the lineup at all, and lost 3-2. Now I do expect an answer from Orlando for that, but Orlando's a team that frustrates me because they can create chances and the game could end 0-0 or 3-3. Like it's just they're incredibly frustrating to handicap. Now, less than 2 weeks ago, and I love it when we call our shots, I said Portland's going to cool off. They're facing Kansas City. We took it under versus two teams that were just incredibly overachieving their expected goals. Both of them between Portland and Kansas City. Took it under, game ends 1-0. Portland has scored 2 goals in 4 games. Like, they've cooled off immensely to the point where now the analytics are starting to line back up, right? Like, you get it happens. You get way out away from your numbers and then they come back to the mean. And now we're starting to come back a little bit. So I think we could see some more Portland goals. Need Rodriguez to stay healthy, of course. I need him to be able to go 60, 70, 80 minutes would be nice. Portland's actually 5-2 against the spread on the road this season. I think getting a full goal here is absolutely ridiculous. And so against Orlando midweek, I know what Orlando did against Miami. And that's got everybody's eyes looking at them differently. I don't think that result was actually super surprising if you look at how Miami's played, man. Orlando was a terrible matchup for them, and it proved out. Like Miami couldn't create anything, or Orlando dominated them. Portland's a different beast. Portland have speed, which Orlando didn't have to see versus Miami. I love +1 here, man. I think this could be a draw. I think you could do, and again, it could be 0-0 or 3-3. Like, it's really hard to get a gauge on what this Orlando side is going to do week in and week out. But yeah, +1 is great here.
Excellent. Yeah, I've got to. I mean, we're used to seeing, LAFC hosting Montreal at home and they're -1. So, I mean, I should use a different example because that they're actually playing this week, but they're in Montreal. But you know what I mean. This is too much.
Yeah, 100%. I agree.
All righty, let's keep scooting. We got one more, and we are looking at San Diego hosting Galaxy.
So I got San Diego, like you just said, hosting Galaxy. San Diego at home actually has the 4th best attack in the league, and LA Galaxy are tied with DC United for most goals conceded on the road, and that's about where this goes, right? So we're going to do the over 3 here because it's sitting at a nice price of -111. And I do think Galaxy could contribute here. San Diego's defense, while better at home, is nothing to write home about. If I can keep just kicking that word around. But the Galaxy attack is getting healthy again. We're seeing Peck, he's back. Payne still got some run off the bench in El Trafico. So I'm interested to see if they both start this weekend. I think it's trending that way. But yeah, I think this could be an absolute goal fest, man. I just don't know when the Galaxy are going to play a team that they're going to score more goals against. I'm trying to figure out when Galaxy get their first win, right? Like, when does that happen? They've been I feel like they're getting closer. They're getting draws, right? They're getting a point here, a point there, but still winless. So when does that happen? But unfortunately, they keep playing teams who have slightly better defenses than them, even though San Diego's defense is not good. Like, the Galaxy's defense is just awful. So yeah, an over 3 here at -111 just feels super easy, man. Nothing to worry about midweek for these teams. And so I expect full lineups, all that jazz. And the scoreline, I think, could go certain ways here, man. San Diego 3-0, 3-1, another 2-2 for Galaxy. Who knows, right? But I think the Galaxy have enough firepower to give San Diego a run and to actually force them to score multiple goals to try to get all 3 points. And so, yeah, we're going to stick with the over 3 here.
I'm going to say right now, yes, Galaxy are bad, right? I mean, they bad teams are bad. We talked about that with Atlanta. We talked about that with Austin, Galaxy, but they're still fighting. I've seen a little bit more direction from them in the last few weeks. I would not be shocked if this was their first win of the season. I mean, it's a 2-hour drive. I'm assuming that I don't know if they fly or not, but it's not like it's a far road trip. It's West Coast. It's right down the road. I liked some things that I saw from him last week. If you get Paint still back here, we've seen, because we barely got him back. it changes the attack.
Oh,
From
100%.
it changes the attack from 0.68 xG to pushing 2. I mean, it's like he is a huge difference maker when he plays. So I'm not shocked if this is LA Galaxy's first win. But I'm with you. I think there's goals. San Diego, they've got all those Danes and obviously Lozano, and that's how they play. I mean, they are all gas, no breaks from start to finish, and they don't quit trying to score goals if they get up either. So it's interesting to me to see this at a -110, because if this was even like 7-8 weeks ago, before everyone completely realized the situation with Galaxy, this total's nowhere. It's nowhere near 3, and the price is nowhere near this, right? So
Yeah.
um I like what you're doing here. I like kind of seeing Galaxy's putting it together somewhat. They still have major defensive issues, but they're finally putting the attack together a little bit. It looked a lot better against LAFC. It's looked a lot better when they've had Paint still healthy. So good chance that he is healthy here. So I think that's huge. I like goals, and I'm just gonna say it. I'm gonna call it. Galaxy get their first win of the season right here.
Oh, I wish the venues were reversed. If you told me Galaxy were at home, I would probably play their money line. Like, it
Yeah.
would probably make the show. I would be that like confident in it and be like, yeah, this is their first spot. It's and it could almost be any other team with San Diego's analytics where I would be like, yeah, Galaxy get the first win there. But it is that first season new team vibes at that stadium that I mean, San Diego's a fortress right now, man. They've lost one game at home,
Yeah.
5 wins, 3 draws. Like, it is incredibly difficult, no matter who you are, to go there and get points. Um, but if you like the Galaxy, you can get them at plus 400.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I mean, it's we're not talking about even money. We're talking about a road win. 4-1 on your money. So a half unit goes a long way there. Um, but
I
yeah,
I actually think their first win comes Wednesday when they host San Jose.
yeah, I can see that. That makes a lot
That's not a
more
hot
sense.
take. I don't
Yeah,
think that's like crazy to like say, but if I'm looking at when the Galaxy get their first win, it's gonna be San Jose with Noah Aranjo. Um, yeah, that's where I will take the Galaxy money line.
one more game I want to ask you about before we go, um, because the two games that I had written down, other than some of the ones we gave out, obviously I talked about the Chicago game, having goals. But does Columbus Crew Charlotte not feel like a absolute fireworks show? Because I just feel like Columbus plays the same home or away. They don't really change their tactics much. And dude, I have seen Columbus miss so many chances. Like, those have got to start going in, right?
No,
Um, I think so.
no. They have a finishing issue, man. It's
Yeah.
so this is where you kind of have to like. This is more of how I do my handicapping, where I need the numbers, I need the analytics, but I also need that eye test, right? Like, I just can't go pure on numbers
Yeah.
where, oh, these numbers are getting inflated, they're bloated, they've got to come back down. No, there are teams that are just bad and will never meet their expected goals throughout a season. And there are teams that are just exceptionally well coached and well managed and talented, and they will always exceed their expected goals. Like, you got to like weave that in and out, right? And we know the Crew are a good side; they're well coached. However, they cannot finish. They just can't. We are now how many games into this? 14, 15 games into the season? I think it's
Yeah.
14. And it is a proven fact. They cannot finish. They are missing a top class finisher because that is how that attack is designed.
Right.
To put you in the right spot to have a clinical finisher finish it off. That's why Cucho was always in the running for Golden Boot, because the system, on top of him just being uber talented, the system just set him up well. I mean, Russell Rowe is not it. He's not it. I don't know what they need outside of getting another 9, but like they would like it to be Russell Rowe. He's not it. Christian Ramirez just isn't Superman anymore. Like he's mortal. He's aging. And it I don't know why. I don't have a good answer for why Rossi isn't scoring more. Gazdag's getting his opportunities. They're not going in. It it's just hard, man. And so like honestly, I looked at that game because I was just going through the games, eyeballing them. Like, what do I think? I, Columbus Crew just don't do much on the road. They don't give anything up. They don't score a lot, man. Like I I know Charlotte's been getting busted lately with their wingbacks out on injury. But my gut said an under 3, and I was like, I don't want to touch that. Obviously, I don't love it. Like, it's not something I want to play. But that's where like my gut leaned, and I was like, that just felt gross to even like think about. Like, I just want to get off that game entirely. Then, because yeah, you just can't until they do it, man. You can't trust the Crew to finish, because you're just going to keep burning money on those team totals, burning money on those money lines when they get the draws that they should be winning. Like, it's just a frustrating side. And I'm very curious what the summer window looks like for them, man, because I promise you somebody's going to call about Nancy.
So, yeah, that's a good point. If it doesn't happen and Nancy stays and they get a Super 9, then they go. I mean, like they're are they immediately the best team in the league? Probably, right?
Maybe, yeah, probably. It's at that point I want to see like. So right now Nancy's letting Gazdag just roam, just go wherever you want. We don't have a 9. Go wherever you want. If
Yeah.
you do get that DP9 who's going to establish himself, then it'd be interesting to see how they do with the double 10s, right? Because that's what Rossi and Gazdag turn into. And so you've got a 9, 2 10s, and then everyone else builds out behind them. So there would be a ton of potential there. You'd have to see how it all starts to fit, right? And that might take. I mean, Nancy's system is not an easy system. It's not like it's one of the more nuanced systems in the league, and so it's going to take whoever comes in at the 9 time to learn it and to understand it. And so it'd be interesting, but they would be in the hunt toward the end of the season, no doubt. But you just can't. I can't trust them right now, man. It's just not a spot. I would rather be on something like New England Revolution double chance right now. I think is like right at my juice limit.
Yeah.
I would play that as they go to Kansas City. Like, Sporting Kansas City doesn't scare anybody, man.
Nah.
New England is crushing the spread on the road. So I mean, I would take that, especially with how they rotated the midweek. They're not going to have any tired legs at all. Like that's a solid look. Man, what else? Dude, you could talk me into Colorado Rapids right now, almost going up against St. Louis City. Like, St. Louis ran out a bunch of first teamers, not all starters, but again, first teamers tonight. The Rapids are not good, man. I don't like watching them, but that's not a bad price for them at home. If you get tired legs at elevation, like that's an uber advantage for Colorado.
How about Cincy at Atlanta? Are we not just going to fade Atlanta forever, or what? I mean, I don't see.
Yeah, that's a Cincinnati draw no bet. Like,
Yeah.
there is no danger right now at even money to take Cincinnati draw no bet. I do get draw vibes from that game. Like, that's what I feel in my bones. But that's why the draw no bet is very safe here, in my opinion. You're not paying juice. You get out scot free if it's a draw. And since he has every possibility to come in there and win.
As Atlanta is constructed, nothing is going to change. I mean, there's no way. I mean, they are what they are. We've seen it over and over.
I don't know, man. I mean, you need Latte Loth is doing his thing, or at least trying. Almiron's doing his thing, or at least trying. I don't know if you try to use Miranchuk in a different way. or what. But like Latte Lath is a guy who needs service, and you're not getting him any service right now. Like you've got to get that ball wide and send it in and just let the dude fight for it. I mean, I think he's got more Benteke in him than anyone gives him credit for, because when he goes up and gets it, he can absolutely win the header. And so yeah, I think they've just got to start getting out wide more. But yeah, Atlanta's in trouble, man. I don't know what they're gonna do. It's you brought in a well-named coach for MLS. Like, I don't think you can just fire Ronnie, but nothing's changing through 14 games. And so I don't know. I would be very interested to see what it looks like if you take Miranchuk out of the lineup. And that sounds crazy because he's a DP, right? Like, you don't take your DPs out, but I don't know, man. I don't know what else you do with that team right now.
Yeah, it's not good. All righty. Well, if you're still tuning in, anybody that's still watching, do us a favor and retweet the show on Twitter. I'm going to upload the show on YouTube for playback. If anybody missed anything or if you tuned in late, it will be on the YouTube channel on Sports Prophet TV. So let's see. We gave out 1, 2, 3.
Let me ask you about one more game, because I've been racking my head around it and don't know what to do.
Okay.
Montreal hosting LAFC. Okay.
Yeah.
LAFC road games have averaged 4.1 goals this season a game. The total is a solid 2.5.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's a reason I didn't have anything for that one, because it's just a tricky one. I'm always weary of Montreal at home, but they have been exceptionally bad. I've watched.
They're an awful team. You want to talk about poorly constructed teams?
Yeah,
They're the poster child.
they're
But
really bad.
so you look at that team, you're like, how does Montreal score? Who scores for them? But then you look at LAFC and like, who are they not letting score when they travel to their stadium? Like, LAFC's letting everyone score. So I don't know, man. That one stuck out to me like a sore thumb, and I couldn't make heads or tails of that game this week.
It's horrible. I don't have anything for you, honestly. Nothing.
I just want to know that I'm not the only one who's just as stumped. Like, I look at that and I was like, throw your hands up.
No, it feels like one of those. If you bet LAFC, then Montreal wins, right? Like they get a big win at home against LAFC, and I mean, it's like, oh, here's the Montreal home field advantage that hasn't been here all year, so yeah, that one's tricky. And then LAFC, it is a little bit of a look ahead spot because they've got the Club America game. That's their next game on the 31st. So if you needed any reason not, to just not jump off the ledge, there you go. But
I mean, yeah, because you're getting Montreal double chance at a good price. Montreal's money line is plus 265. Like, and you could easily take LAFC and do whichever way you were thinking, over 1.5, under 3.5, like whichever way you're going, and get a really good price, good combo play with LAFC. Like, that's the thing. I guess these lines offer a ton of potential that we would normally attack, that we're just like, no, I hate everything about this.
exactly. Yeah. And I'm tempted to use Philly, and I don't know why I keep doing it, but I keep sticking my hand back in the fire. But Philly and Miami, both teams to score for a parlay piece.
I mean, you're gonna need like a goat goal. Like, that's what you're asking for. I'd rather just see what Messi's props are, because
you're probably
that's
right.
that's the only way they score, man. It's
Yeah.
the book is out on Miami right now. You just sit back, soak the pressure, and as soon as they give it up, you're just off to the races. And Philly can do that.
Yeah, just bet. You're right. Just messy props at this point. All righty. All right. Well, like I said, I will go ahead after we're done here. I'll upload the podcast episode to the YouTube channel in case anybody tuned in late. We'll still be able to get the picks there. good luck to everybody tailing, and any of your own action, good luck to you as well for this Saturday and Sunday. Garrett, anything?
No, as always, thank you so much for the support. We just really appreciate it. Love you tuning in. Love you, checking out the plays. And so thank you. Thank you so much. And then, yeah, as always, best of luck to whatever you're on this weekend.
See you guys next week.